Welcome to Hidden Truths, where passion dares to defy age and desire follows no rules. You've just arrived at the channel that celebrates the most compelling, deeply emotional, and unforgettable stories of love. Here, we don't just share romances, we share experiences that linger, stories that challenge what society tells us love should look like. In today's video, we step into the rich and often complicated world of age gap relationships, connections where love crosses generations and shatters expectations. Sometimes it's a younger man drawn to the strength and wisdom of an older woman. Other times, it's a woman finding, in someone half her age, the kind of understanding she never found before. You'll hear about people who've endured judgment, wrestled with doubt, and still found something real and lasting. These aren't only tales of romance, they're journeys of growth, resilience, and the courage to love in ways the world doesn't always accept. But can such relationships truly last? What makes them thrive? And what threatens to tear them apart? Stay with me, because today's story will surprise you when you least expect it. My name is Daniel. I'm 28 years old, living in a quiet neighborhood in Portland, working as a freelance graphic designer. Life was fine, predictable, safe. But there was this woman, Margaret. She lived 2 doors down from me. She was 47, elegant, graceful, the kind of woman who commanded respect without saying a word. Dark hair with subtle silver streaks, eyes that held stories I desperately wanted to hear. We'd exchanged pleasantries over the years. Good morning. Nice weather today. Nothing more. Until that night. It was late October, the kind of night where the wind cuts through you and the rain doesn't just fall, it attacks. I was working late, lost in a project, when I heard it. Knock, knock, knock at 11:47 p.m. I opened the door, and there she was, Margaret, soaked, shivering, her usually perfect composure completely shattered. "I'm sorry," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "I didn't know where else to go." "What happened?" I pulled her inside immediately, grabbing a towel. "My pipes burst. The entire apartment is flooding. The landlord won't answer. She looked down, embarrassed. "I just need somewhere to stay. Just for tonight." I could see the vulnerability in her eyes. This woman, who always seemed so put together, so confident, was standing in my doorway, asking for help. "Of course," I said. "You can stay here." She looked relieved, but also hesitant. "I don't want to impose." "You're not imposing, Margaret. Come on, let's get you warm." I gave her my room, insisted actually. She protested, but I wasn't taking no for an answer. "I'll take the couch," I said. "You need proper rest." She smiled, a real smile. Not the polite ones we'd exchanged over the years. "Thank you, Daniel. Really." I made her tea, chamomile with honey. We sat in the living room, the rain hammering against the windows. "I haven't had someone take care of me like this in years," she said softly. "What about your family?" I asked. "Divorced 5 years ago. My kids are grown, living their own lives across the country. It's just me." She wrapped her hands around the mug. Sometimes the silence is deafening. I understood that feeling more than she knew. "I know what you mean," I said. "People think being alone is peaceful, but there's a difference between solitude and loneliness." Her eyes met mine. "Yes. Exactly that." We talked, really talked. Not small talk, not surface-level pleasantries. We talked about life, about dreams we'd abandoned, about fears we never voiced. She told me about her marriage, how it had slowly crumbled, how she'd felt invisible in her own home, how she'd rebuilt herself piece by piece after the divorce. I told her about my own struggles, the relationships that never worked because I always felt disconnected, like I was going through the motions. "You're different than I thought," she said at one point. "How so?" "Most people your age, they're so distracted, always looking at screens, always somewhere else. But you're present. You actually listen. Maybe that's because you're worth listening to." She blushed, actually blushed, and for the first time, I saw past the age gap. I just saw her. I woke up to the smell of coffee. I stumbled into the kitchen, half asleep, and found Margaret cooking breakfast. Pancakes, eggs, the whole spread. "You didn't have to do this," I said, surprised. "I wanted to. It's the least I could do." She turned to me, spatula in hand. "Besides, when was the last time you had a proper breakfast?" Honestly, I couldn't remember. We ate together, laughed together. It felt domestic, natural, like we'd been doing this for years. "Your landlord called," I said. "He'll have the pipes fixed by this afternoon." Oh, was it my imagination, or did she sound disappointed? That's good. There was a pause, a heavy, loaded silence. "Margaret," I said carefully, "last night, talking with you, it was the best night I've had in a long time." She looked down at her plate. "For me, too." So, I took a breath. "Maybe we could do it again? Without the emergency?" She looked up, eyes searching mine. "Daniel, you're 28. I'm 47. People will—" "I don't care what people think," I interrupted. Emphasis. "Do you?" She was quiet for a long moment. Then, softly, "I'm scared." "Of what?" "Of this. Of what people will say. Of what it means." She met my eyes. "Of how much I already care." My heart pounded. "Then, let's be scared together." We started seeing each other. Quietly at first. Coffee dates, long walks, late-night conversations that stretched into early morning. But word travels fast in small neighborhoods. My friend Jake pulled me aside one day. "Dude, are you seriously dating Mrs. Henderson?" "Her name is Margaret," I corrected. "She's old enough to be your mom, man. What are you doing?" "I'm dating someone who makes me happy." "What are you doing?" He didn't have an answer for that. But he wasn't the only one with opinions. Margaret's friend Linda cornered her at the grocery store. "What are you thinking, Margaret? He's a child." "He's 28, Margaret said calmly. "He's more mature than most men my age. But what does he want from you? Money? Security?" Margaret's jaw tightened. "He wants me. Just me." The judgment hurt, I won't lie. But every time someone questioned us, we'd find each other that night, talk it through, remind ourselves why we were doing this. "Do you regret this?" Margaret asked me one night, curled up on my couch. "Never," I said firmly. "Do you?" "Only that we didn't start sooner." 3 months in, things got serious. Margaret's ex-husband found out. Called her, furious, called her pathetic, said she was embarrassing their children. She came to my apartment in tears. "Maybe he's right," she sobbed. "Maybe I am being ridiculous. Maybe I should just—" "Stop," I said, holding her face in my hands. "Look at me. You are not ridiculous. You are not pathetic. You are brave and beautiful. and you deserve to be loved. But the age difference is just a number. Margaret, when I'm with you, I don't see age. I see the woman who makes me laugh, who challenges me, who makes every day better just by existing. Daniel, her voice broke. I love you, I said. The words tumbled out before I could stop them. I love you, Margaret. Not despite the age difference, just you. All of you. Tears streamed down her face. I love you too. God help me, I love you too. We held each other that night, and I realized something. True love doesn't ask permission from the world. It just is. Margaret had a choice to make. Her kids were coming to visit. She'd have to introduce me, explain everything. What if they hate me? She asked. Then they're idiots, I said simply. But they won't, because they'll see what I see, that you're happier now than you've been in years. The day came. Her daughter Sarah and Michael arrived. The first dinner was, well, tense, awkward. They kept looking at me like a puzzle they couldn't solve. Finally, Sarah spoke up. Mom, can we talk alone? Margaret nodded, and they went to the kitchen. I sat with Michael. He stared at me, arms crossed. I know what you're thinking, I said. Do you? You think I'm taking advantage of her, that I want something from her, don't you? I breathed. Yeah, I said honestly. I want her time, her attention, her laughter, her stories. I want to make her happy. That's all I want. He studied me for a long moment. You really love her, more than anything. Sarah and Margaret came back. Margaret's eyes were red, but she was smiling. They gave us our blessing, she whispered to me later. Really? She said, she hasn't seen me this happy since before the divorce. That's all she wants for me. Happiness. Joyful narrative. 6 months later, Margaret moved in with me. Honest and realistic. People still stare sometimes, still whisper, but we don't care anymore. Because here's what I learned. Love doesn't have an age limit. It doesn't follow society's rules. Real love is finding someone who sees you, truly sees you, and chooses you anyway. Margaret chose me, and I choose her every single day. So can age gap relationships truly last? Yes, but not without courage, not without resilience, not without the willingness to face judgment and doubt and still hold on to what's real. These stories remind us that love is not about numbers. It's about honesty, respect, trust, and the quiet spark that changes everything. If this story speaks to you, or if you have your own thoughts about age gap love, don't forget to like this video, share your feelings in the comments, and subscribe to Stories Beyond the Porch for more powerful journeys into the heart of unexpected romance. Thank you for watching, and always remember, love has a way of surprising us when we least expect it.